Happy Monday. Abraham waited for 25 years. David waited for 22 years. Joseph waited for 13 years. Moses waited for 40 years. Even Jesus Christ himself waited for 30 years. So if you are waiting on God, start being excited because you are in good company and whatever God says will come to pass.
Yeah. Wait a minute now. Wait a minute now.
Within the walls of the church, we have noticed a trend where worldly fashions have made their way into the congregation.
Before we dive into the juicy details of that video, let's take a quick moment to show some love. Don't forget to smash that like button and subscribe to the channel. And hey, if you want to be in the know, ring that notification bell so you never miss a beat. Join the party in the comments section. We want to hear what you think.
We are increasingly witnessing individuals preaching Jesus while wearing skin-tight dresses. Even pastors have started to embrace this trend by often dressing in skin-tight torn jeans and casual fashion in an attempt to appear more relatable to the culture of today.
Christianity is not trying harder, it's looking more at Jesus. Ephesians chapter 2 verse 8 to 9 tells us that we have been saved by faith, not our own works. So when you look unto Jesus more, your actions just align. Have a blessing.
People now feel at ease wearing skin-tight dresses, torn jeans, and casual attire that seems more suitable for a night out rather than for a place of worship.
Being too busy to pray or to be in the presence of God is not an excuse. It's a spiritual attack. It's a red flag. It is a sign that you are disconnecting yourself from the source. The Bible tells us to pray without ceasing because it is the will of God in Christ Jesus.
We live in a time when worldliness and the craze of fashion have eaten deep into the church. This obsession with trendy clothing and provocative styles has blurred the lines between believers and unbelievers, making it increasingly difficult to tell who truly walks in the light.
This week, do not live with people that do not understand your vision of growth. In the book of Exodus, we see Pharaoh not understanding the growth of the Israelites and turning them into slaves. So this week, look for people that are willing to invest in your vision and your growth. If not, they might slow you down or even stop you. Have a blessed bye.
It's been a trend on social media where people always try to show or make videos of what they wore to church. And while there are many beautiful church outfit videos out there, once in a while you come across a video like this one. Just looking at the title, "This is how I dress to church today. Any problem?" You can see she clearly knows there's a problem dressing this way to church. And look, I'm not here to judge anyone's personal style, but we have to admit there's a time and place for everything. Church is a place of worship, a sacred space where we come to honor God, not to draw attention to ourselves. And that's really the core issue here. When we dress in a way that's more suited for the club than the church, we risk distracting others.
Step, you go down in depression and fear and anxiety and stress and panic. I'm not saying you don't have a reason.
Now here's a pastor. I don't know what she's wearing with her magenta, but this is a little too fitting. And this is a woman who is fairly thin, but she's still wearing something that is fitting. Why and how she's bending. I don't know if she knows what she's doing. Maybe she does. Maybe she's just incredibly ignorant. But the men in the audience, they're looking at not what she's saying. They're not paying attention to what she's saying, but they're looking at her. Even the ones that are trying their best. How can you not? You got this big, bright magenta suit on, this costume, and you're bending over, showing off something that only should be left to the imagination of your husband. not to these men in the audience.
Wait. Is that right? Is that the Bible that's on that screen right there? I will give you the treasures of darkness? I didn't know there was treasures of darkness.
Now, when you look at what this woman is wearing, you might think, okay, that's okay. It might be pushing the limits, but it's okay. The problem is it might be too close to the limits, because this outfit ends up leading to this outfit, which is certainly a little bit tighter than it probably ought to be. Forgetting the fact that she's a woman on stage as a pastor and she shouldn't be. The fact is, you've got people out there who are not pastors who might be up singing, who are dressed the same way or even worse. And it's a problem. So ladies, I beg you, I beseech you, please put on some clothes. I understand, but it's cute. I like the way it looks, but Paul says, do not be conformed to this world. No, if you want to be like this world, then you'll suffer the same fate of this world. Now, the passage you want to go to kind of govern you in all these things, this particular passage covers, like it says, whatever you eat or drink. Whatever you do, do it all to the glory of God. That includes what you wear. Wear those clothes to the glory of God. Give no offense to Jews or Greeks or to the church. No one should be offended by the clothes that you wear. When you go to church today, I don't care what the church is, the demographic makeup, you seem to find a lot of women who seem to be like the world. And what I mean by that is, one, of their dating habits, but even more so in their dressing habits.
Abraham waited for 25 years. David waited for 22 years. Joseph waited for 13 years. Moses waited for 40 years.
The videos and pictures that you will see are of those who are professed Christians. It should never be told to a Christian woman to go put on some clothes. But now you've got to tell women who claim to be, who profess to be Christian, tell them to go put some clothes on. Let's be clear, especially to the young men who don't know this as well. You might need to know this as well. When a woman puts on her clothes, she knows exactly what she's doing. In her house, in her room, in her bedroom, she has mirrors. She can't go without mirrors, which is fine. She wants to make sure that she looks nice, that she looks presentable. So therefore, she knows how she looks when she leaves. She knows what she's accentuating. She knows what she's advertising. She knows what she's showing off. And it's done in many cases intentionally. If you happen to be a woman who, for whatever reason, you don't know how you look, you're not aware of what you're doing, well, then I'm telling you now, put some clothes on. You are a stumbling block for men. Some men who are weak.
But it's foolish to expect any return, to expect any payment. So this week,
this young woman comes out and she gives these different scriptures and so forth, but no one's listening. Go to the particular page and listen and look at the comments. They're telling, they can't even pay attention to what you're saying. You're using the word of God to display your body. If you can't get that right, then why should anyone listen to you give the word? They're focused on your midsection. They're focused on your breasts you have. They're focused on the tight-fitting clothes that you're wearing. And someone may come back and say, well, that's on them. No, that's on them and you. There are some people that struggle with lust. Do you mean to tell me you think it's okay for you to aid in their struggle with lust? You think it's okay for you to be a stumbling block? It's gotten so bad that there are people that even jump up in the choir loft or on stage and they do things sexually because they don't even know better. It's sad when younger women look to older women and they don't know better and they think that certain behaviors are okay because, for as far as they're concerned, you've given them the green light to push the envelope. The porn industry is a multi-billion-dollar industry, and to no surprise to any of you that even Christian men struggle within that area. And so they shouldn't have to struggle at home, go to church, look for some sort of refuge, and then are faced to struggle with it again. Paul says that I want women to adorn themselves with proper clothing, modestly and discreetly, not with braided hair and gold or pearls or costly garments, but rather by means of good works, as is proper for women making a claim to godliness. That is, if you do indeed make a claim to godliness. If you make a claim to godliness, well, then put some clothes on. put some looser clothes on. I used to think that there just aren't any clothes for women. They make all the clothes that are tight and form-fitting. Now, I don't buy women's clothes, and someone told me, matter of fact, my wife told me, my daughters told me, there are more than enough clothes. You may have to do some extra shopping, but you can find clothes to where they're not showing off everything. My daughters wear clothes that they're not showing off everything. Now, there are times where I get on them, hey, listen, cover up, do more than what you're doing. But there are clothes out there that are loose and fitting that aren't showing off your body. Oh, by the way, ladies, let me give you a tip. If you are looking for a man, I get that. Women want to get married. Men want to get married. But if you're looking for a man, can I tell you what men really want, what they don't want? You give a man two twins, built the same way, look the same way, talk the same way, but one of them is dressed in fitting clothing and one is dressed in something that's looser, more modest. I can promise you almost 9 times out of 10, that man, who especially he's a good man, is going to be more attracted to the woman who dresses modestly. Why? Because the one who dresses in something that's skin tight and fitting, he's thinking that he can get something from her. He's thinking in his mind, anything goes. And in many cases with her, anything might go.
I don't know how people will wake up Sunday morning and decide they want to wear one tights. Are you going to the nightclub?
And on that note, turn to your neighbor and say, scoop me up something to munch on.
Let's take a quick moment to show some love. Don't forget to smash that like button and subscribe to the channel. And hey, if you want to be in the know, ring that notification bell so you never miss a beat. Join the party in the comments section. We want to hear what you think.